if you get me on the phone, just send me to a manager because that's what I'm going to ask for anyway.
Welcome to another episode of Chewing the Fat. I'm your host, Big Rob. Thank you so much for tuning in, downloading the podcast. I certainly do appreciate that. And to the folks that have bought me a coffee at chewingthefatbr.com, thank you so much for supporting this podcast and helping to keep telling the stories, those beautiful, messy human stories that we all have. Today, I've got a great guest in front of me from Los Angeles right now. Please welcome Andy Roth. Andy, how are you, buddy?
I'm great. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for giving me some of your time to sit and talk today. It's
Totally.
it's really an honor. Andy is a casting director that I met at VO Atlanta this year. I mean, we've kind of been in and out of some, forums and classes and workshops and things like that, but officially had a chance to kind of sit at his knee and learn from Andy this year, and just more so than your teaching style, just who you are as a human, just really kind of lit me up inside. So thank you for being here and agreeing to talk with me today.
Thank you. And thank you for the compliment.
I mean it. I'm not blowing smoke because you're a casting director. I mean it. So Andy, you're in Los Angeles right now. Is LA home to you? Is that where you grew up?
New York will always be home.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, New York will always. I love LA. There's a lot here that I really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza is not one of the things. If I can say that, kind of a broad statement, but yeah. New York will always be home, but I do love LA. I have places on both coasts, and whenever I'm at one of them, I miss the other. So yeah.
So were you born and raised in like the Manhattan area, a different area of New York, or?
I was born in Queens.
Okay.
But I didn't live there long enough to call that, home. We moved to Long Island early. I lived in Huntington, later moved with the family to Syosset.
Oh, wow.
Moved out pretty much around 17, lived with some friends on a boat in Oyster Bay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a cool experience, but it wasn't like a houseboat. It's not what you see on movies about rich people. It was definitely a service boat. It was like a green PC kind of thing. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun. And it was a great boat, but it's not where I would choose to live now if I were to choose.
So that's not where you go back to when you go back to New York. You're not going to the boat.
I don't go back way to the end of the pier. At a time, there were cell phones, and if you wanted to make a call, you had to walk all the way up and ask to use the payphone. And it's definitely a different time communication wise. Yep. And then I went to school in Buffalo, lived there for 6 years, and back to New York. And the past few years, I've been back and forth from LA to New York.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I have, my father was from Buffalo, and so I have some family up in that area, and we went one time to visit them. And it was, it was like, I feel like we were up there in like almost June, and it was still cold, and there may have been snow on the ground. I'm not sure. It was. Yeah.
We had a blizzard. We had a blizzard on May 6th once. I will never forget it.
Yeah. That was just crazy.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was good times. And I did learn that if you're having a blizzard, renting a hot tub, they come, they drop it off. Yeah. And it's fun.
Makes it more bearable.
Sitting outside in a blizzard in a hot tub is an experience I would recommend.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. When you were in Buffalo, what were you studying for school? At Theater. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I actually started college pre-med.
Wow.
And it was cool. It's a great school for it. It was cool, but I kind of learned early on, nobody's going to want me to be their doctor. So,
I don't know. So, Dr. Roth has a good sound to it.
It sounds good. No doubt about that. It wasn't, it's like anything else. I feel like you got to love it.
Yeah.
You got to love it. And there was a lot I loved about it, but I didn't love it.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And the whole time I had taken acting classes there, theater classes, worked with a guy named Stephen McKinley Henderson, who is brilliant. He's in Dune now.
Mm.
He played Denzel Washington's uh, best friend in Fences, and
Wow. Okay.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, and he kind of took me under his wing. I was his teacher's assistant for a couple of years, one of his two,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I didn't necessarily fall in love with acting, but I fell in love with that way of thinking, the business,
Mm.
which is why I'm not an actor now. But I love actors and I love working with actors, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it kind of found me.
Yeah. So what
Yeah,
was the, so if you want to work with actors, but not necessarily be an actor. So what was the plan after college then? What was that going to
uh,
be?
yeah. I don't know. The plan was don't starve.
Ah, well, yeah, that's always a good
Yeah,
plan.
that's a good plan. Don't starve. Go out, find a job. I was a high school teacher for a short period of time. Didn't love it. I
Mm,
have incredible admiration for the people who do it. So they get so little appreciation and so little money, and
mm-hmm.
they do so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Um, and then I worked at a place called Samuel French
Mm-hmm.
Play Publishing, and I would
Yeah.
recommend plays to companies and monologues to people, and deal with licensing out shows. And I met a friend who connected me with a talent agency, which was called CED
Mm-hmm.
at the time. Now it's called CESD, is how most people know it. And I became an assistant there, and eventually their in-house casting person, their booth director, and then broke off on my own around 2007. The industry, people, I'll talk in colleges and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the questions that I get is, what was my path?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of like, well, I don't want to tell you because my path doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
The opportunities that I had are different. We recorded everything on cassette. There were only 13 TV channels and people only
Yeah.
cared about four of them.
Yeah.
Everything was union, and
Yeah.
times have changed, but the philosophy hasn't. The philosophy of follow your heart as often as you possibly can and your wallet as often as you have to.
Yeah.
Because I'm not unrealistic.
Right.
And eventually, at least in my case, those two kind of merged and brought me into areas of the business that nobody had ever taught me about, some of which didn't even exist back then the way they exist now.
Yeah.
So it kind of found me.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah. And having started in radio myself when I was 15, interning at a radio station, when you could intern at a radio station and work an overnight shift and, kind of, get your feet wet and learn how to do production with razors and tape and things like that. And again, those tactical skills don't exist anymore. Yeah. It's
That
like
little press thing. Yeah.
grease pencils and marking and, yeah. That stuff just doesn't exist anymore. So that path, and I fell in love with it because of the entertainment aspect of it, because of being able to be this persona or create these funny, promos and this type of stuff. And they're just that path, like you said, it doesn't exist anymore for people that want to do that because there are no overnight shifts anymore. They're barely jocks on the air. I mean, in your top 10 markets, sure. You probably, although even there, you probably have a voice tracked shift from somewhere else in the country that is just piped in and localized or whatever. So yeah, it's hard when you find a passion and then you see what has happened to the industry you fell in love with, but you can either get rolled over by it or you adapt and move on and figure out how to make it work. And that's one thing now as AI has become so prevalent in the nomenclature of just anything now is how do we work with AI or how do we keep AI from, taking our jobs? Will it replace us? As a casting director, do you see any of that coming at you? Like, hey, we want to cast a AI voice in this or something, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, nobody's asked me to cast an AI voice. And I have had companies approach me about reaching out to people to become AI voices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to pass judgment. I know, people have to eat, and it's I could say don't do it, but I'm not off. I can't if I can't offer somebody something to replace it,
Right.
then I really have no place telling somebody to do that. And it
Yeah.
might, there are things coming that might even replace me.
Mm.
There are voice match programs. There are databases, things like that that producers can draw from. I'm in a unique situation in that I get to direct a lot of what I cast.
Right.
So, that puts me in a little different space, but I don't know what's coming. But, I've been part of this industry now for 32 years.
Mm.
I've been there through major hits. It used to be only casting directors in offices, and then agencies started doing internal casting
Mm.
because people would ask for that. Most agencies had booths because a lot of their celebrities didn't want to go and wait in a waiting room at a casting
Right.
house. So there were promos or things like that when not as many people at home studios, they would come into the agency and work from there. So it was kind of set up. And then a lot of casting directors freaked out and got really upset. Our agency's going to take our work. But it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely a hiccup. There was definitely running from the aliens kind of freak out in the streets. And it didn't happen. And then in 2000, there was a strike.
Mm-hmm.
There was a huge strike, and that changed the industry. And our agency's going to go out of business. Our people going to totally, give up everything. And it definitely made some changes to the industry, some changes that are still here.
Mm-hmm.
But the industry adapted to those changes. A lot of commercials went non-union and still are.
Mm-hmm.
But now there are agreements in place and things where people can still work in that sphere. And now it's the AI scare. AI is the new running from the aliens, running from the meteors. And I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go, but I know that humans are resilient.
Yeah.
Human minds think of other ways.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason to do AI is so you can make things to sell.
Right.
And if nobody's making money, who's going to buy it?
Right.
So, yeah, and I think there will be pushback. There will be some acceptance, just like with the non-union upheaval in 2000. And things will eventually level out until the next meteor
alien lands.
Alien invasion.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think aliens generally are probably pretty nice. I think it makes for good movies, but I kind of feel like, if there was going to be, if it was going to be, an Independence Day kind of thing, it would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using that only as a parable. Aliens, if you're listening, I'm sure you're monitoring. I'm sure you have your issues too, and you're listening to the podcast. I like you. You are on benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. But I mean, that's what we should do with everyone though, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what someone's life experience has been, what bad day they're having to cause them to act the way that they're acting, or what, trauma they may have had in their past that's causing them to act the way that they act. So, I mean, walking, and I say this to a lot of her, walking forward in kindness is always to me is always the best way to move anyway.
Exactly.
As opposed to being judgmental about people that you don't know anything about, really.
Right. Unless you're somebody on the phone with a utility company that's telling me you're sorry you can't help me. You can help me. You can. You're choosing not to.
You just don't want to.
Yes, if you get me on the phone, just send me to a manager, because that's what I'm going to ask for anyway.
Just go ahead and hang up now, and I'll call back, and I'm going to ask directly for the manager.
And I don't believe you're going to call me back.
That's right. That's right. When you put me on hold, I will be here until the phone hangs up, until it times out at 20 minutes or whatever. Yeah. No. So from your theater background, what you're doing now, what have you seen in your life doing what you do that is really like kept you motivated to keep going, other than the paycheck, other than making sure that you don't starve? You know what I mean?
Other than the paycheck.
Other than that. Yeah. I mean, because you don't
starving.
seem like the only in it for the paycheck type of person to me, but, you know what I mean? But are there those, what are some of those glimmers that you see that you've been a part of that have just kept you keep moving forward?
I kind of feel, I mean, and when I say kind of, I mean do.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody gets in this business to not interact with people. Um, I think there are businesses where you can be solitary if you want to be solitary. And even though this business has changed into a bit more of a solitary business since the pandemic, I feel like we've still found ways to interact. Even, sending an audition, listening to people's auditions, it still feels interactive. Emailing back to them, emails back and forth. When I started in this business, everybody talked on the phone. So even if you didn't see anybody, you still had, and you became friends. Now it's more of an email relationship, but it still happens. I 2 nights last week went out for drinks with colleagues. I was just in a thing yesterday with other voice directors. What keeps me going is the sense of community, even when I'm alone.
Yeah.
Even when I'm alone prepping it, casting something, even when I'm just thinking about it or emailing with a producer about what's going to happen, or when we're in the booth and it's me and an engineer in one room and an actor in another room. The thing that keeps me going, I guess, really is the sense of community.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like solving a puzzle, and I'll be honest. Sometimes when you put the puzzle together, you're like, okay, that's not a picture I want to look at. I'm getting it. But
I think I had the instructions upside down.
Yeah, I think, I don't know who decided this should be a puzzle, but putting together a puzzle is putting together a puzzle. The process is the process, and you gotta, at least most of the time, enjoy the thinking about, okay, here's a piece of sky. This is definitely a corner piece. Let's start with the corner. Because it can be overwhelming if you're looking at this monster 1,000-piece pile of stuff. Unless you're like, you know what? There's only 4 corner pieces. Let me just find those first. And finding the corner pieces sometimes really keeps me going. There's a lot. Honestly, I don't even know that I even totally have a 100% answer, but I know that if there wasn't something there, I would have left. And it's not just the paycheck, because I could get that other places.
Right.
I believe I could.
Yeah. And I love that you say it's the community, it's the collaboration. I love collaborating. I mean, this podcast is collaborating in the interviews, but it is just me putting it together afterwards. I mean, I'm doing all the marketing, I'm doing all the tech, I'm doing everything after this is over. You know what I mean? But the collaboration part of having the conversation, of being with people, and then when you're working with other projects, when you're doing voiceover projects, when you're submitting your auditions, when you're, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, who are they going to pair me up with in this 2-part, this 2-voice commercial, or who are they going to, you know what I mean? It's, and sometimes you don't know until it's done. And then you're like, oh, wow, that was really cool, or this audio drama or whatever it is.
Well, I feel like it is collaborative also, because even though it's you putting it together, it's not just one podcast. It's not like, let's do this interview and that's it. It's never going to happen again. The existence is kind of an ongoing collaboration, because if the listeners want something else, or they'll tell you. Yeah. So it is, I find there's collaboration there too.
Yeah. And as I thank people that support the podcast, even just for downloading and listening, that is collaboration too. You're part of it just by listening to the podcast. Yes. Absolutely. And I love that. Has there been you love the collaboration part. Has there been a project that you've worked on that has been like, I don't want to frame this in a negative way, but more difficult to collaborate or more difficult to work on, that you can mention, or in vague terminology? You don't have to call out names or anything like that, but that you're like, that may not happen again if that comes across my desk.
Absolutely. Well, there have definitely been more frustrating
Mm.
projects. But I've signed a lot of contracts in my time, and the words fun, like,
Yeah.
easy, enjoy have never been in any of them. Uh, Liking the, nobody likes their job always. It's
Hmm.
it's a relationship. It's like any other relationship. You can love your partner unequivocally, but you might not like them every day.
Yeah.
And they might not like you, and that's fine. That just means we're individuals with individual thoughts. Um, a job, it's sort of its own individual entity,
Yeah.
and most of the time, almost always, I do like my job. Sometimes I love my job.
Yeah.
But sometimes, sometimes it didn't put the toilet seat down, and we're going to have a discussion. Uh, Sometimes it didn't clean up after itself.
Right.
Um, it's just like anything else. But yeah, I mean, there are things that are difficult. Also, I'm dealing with, when I direct a dubbing project, I'm dealing with a whole other culture. And
Hmm.
some cultures are very similar to us. Sometimes the jokes really carry over. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes something is very stylized.
Mm.
And it's like colloquialisms, like expressions. Like
Hmm.
here, if I say you're comparing apples to oranges, you'll know what that means.
Hmm.
In some other countries, if I say it, they're like, why are you suddenly talking about fruit? This has nothing to do with fruit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
they have their equivalents, they have their expressions.
Right.
And I have had projects where things are very stylized, where people are speaking in expressions that there are no equivalents for here.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, well, how do we handle that? Because I can't always find an equivalent expression. And sometimes making it more literal or even going for the meaning is going to kill the joke. And it
Mm.
makes it kind of it seems like an unnecessary scene, even though there it's necessary. Um, there are projects with a lot of that can be a little difficult.
Interesting.
So yeah, yeah. But if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Right. Right.
People don't hire me to not have problems. People hire me to make sure they don't become their problems.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
So,
And I think that's a great, mantra as an actor or really any person working any job is if you're hired to make sure that the people above you, the people that have hired you don't have a problem because of you. You take
right.
away problems for them
Yep.
by what you do, whether it's your performance, whether it's, and by performance, I mean, whether you're acting or you're collating newsletters or whatever it is, it's like that they don't have to worry about that because
Yep.
you're good at your job.
Yep. It's the same reason you hire a plumber or a doctor or a house painter or an
Right.
electrician.
Right.
Yeah, I just painted an apartment in Manhattan and I will never do it again. It doesn't matter if I can. There's somebody that will make my life easier for more than a few bucks, but
But but you
but
don't have
they'll,
to do it,
they'll
and it will be done right,
yep,
and
yep,
it's not your problem anymore.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Are there clients that are on like your bucket list that you'd like to be a part of that you
Ooh,
could mention? Whether there's something that you've seen, you're like, oh, I wouldn't mind being in the Marvel universe or the this, that, or the other, or the Harry Potter verse or what, those kind of big things. Or if it's just something that's meaningful to you, like I love documentaries from Nat Geo or whatever.
well, I mean, there are things I think I'd like to work on. I haven't done a sci-fi.
Mm.
I'd like to do that. Um, I haven't done a horror movie. I'd love to do that. I'd
Oh,
love to
wow.
work on one of that. As far as documentaries, I've made one and I've voice directed a bunch of them. Um, I'm good. I'm good on the making a documentary. The people, the people that make docs, I have whatever it's about. I love you and respect you and do not have your strength.
Yeah.
You are powerful, determined people, and I admire you with all my heart. And I will go see your shows, but I will not be one of you again. It was a lot of work. Um, So, but I'll say this. I mean, I don't know if this is the answer you're looking for, but a while back in 2021, uh, I was diagnosed with cancer. Now I'm cancer free now. I've been cancer free for several years. Thank the universe and my doctors for
Mm-hmm.
that. They were brilliant. Um, but of course, I don't want to trigger anybody here, but the first thing that I thought of when the doctor told me was like, all right, what's in the bucket list?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It's like they told me it was there, but I hadn't had the CAT scans yet. I hadn't had the
Yeah.
blood tests. I hadn't had the surgery. I hadn't had all of that. So, and I was keeping it to myself. I didn't tell my family for a while
Wow.
because, you tell somebody you have it, everybody's like, oh my God, you're dying. And
Mm-hmm.
I understand that would be my reaction too, probably. And I'm thinking, well, it could be nothing. And
Yeah.
I don't want them thinking I'm dying and going crazy when it's nothing.
Yeah.
And if it is serious, which thank God, I mean, it's always serious, but,
Mm-hmm.
thank the universe it wasn't as bad as it could be. But if it was that, they can afford to not worry and cry about it for 2 weeks. So,
Right. Right.
so I kept to myself, but I did a lot of thinking, what's in the bucket list?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, I mean, there's some things that I like to do, but I think I was really fortunate. I was like, I think everything that I've really, really felt driven to do, that I have to do, I've kind of done. I'm like,
That's
I
great.
don't think there was anything that was going to make me walk the earth looking for a resolution,
Yeah.
you know, except maybe the second half of Spider-Verse. That I hope that happens before,
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, I have to say I've got a to-do list for me, but it's not a bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not. I think I'm very, very fortunate in that I didn't, say I have to take this job for safety,
Yeah.
when I really want to do this other thing. And people have reasons for doing that. I was
Yeah.
fortunate. I didn't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in a situation where I had to take care of somebody other than myself for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I do count myself lucky on that. Not everybody has that.
That's great. That's great. So for you, right now, with the project you got on, but besides work and stuff like that, what's bringing you joy? When you think of joy, what is bringing you joy in life?
Um, Decorating my apartment, decorating this new apartment. Uh, I mean, I know it's a simple little thing, and it's obviously going to come to an end because I only have so much wall space. But but I can always take things down and put other things back up.
Yeah.
When I first this apartment, when I got it, I was like, okay, it's mine. I can do. It's a blank canvas. I can do whatever I want with it. And I'm like, I don't know that I really know how to decorate anymore. I've always shared space and had other
Mm-hmm.
people in my life to do that. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start putting up some affordable stuff and see if my opinions are right and my thoughts are right. And
Yeah.
I had a little bit of success in the bedroom and then a little bit of success in the kitchen. And then,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think I know where that's gonna go when I look on Temu and Amazon and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And so that's been bringing me a lot of joy. Being a part of a community that I'd always respected that seemed far away.
Mm.
It's like that there are people out there that do what you do that you really respect, and there's always
Yeah.
this kind of like, would they accept me with what I did?
Mm.
Because your
Mm-hmm.
accomplishments never really feel as big as somebody else's accomplishments
Yeah.
because you're looking at what's done over there. You're not looking at how they did it. With
Yeah.
you had the problems. Yes, maybe you got there and you're proud of your accomplishments, and you should be,
Hmm.
because you accomplished it, and most people don't. Um, but it feels like because you saw how the sausage was made,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, you're like, this really isn't as big a deal as what they did. They did this other great thing. And being a part of a community that accepts me and asks my opinion on occasion, and that I can
Yeah.
just joke with and have a drink or have a meal or grab a coffee, that brings me joy. And I will say this, after years and years of uh, people in my family not believing I could do it,
Mm.
um, having them go, wow, that's really big. You have a show on Netflix. You have 35 shows on,
Yeah.
on Netflix and Amazon and Apple and Crunchyroll and
Yeah.
HBO. Um, that brings me joy. Not showing them up
Yeah.
necessarily, but it sort of brings a legitimacy. I always felt legitimate,
Yeah.
but knowing that other people feel that it's legit too, that brings me joy.
Yeah.
And New York pizza.
Ah, yes.
And, yeah.
What's the go-to toppings on the New York pizza?
Oh, well, I'm a veg, so,
No.
I'm not casting no judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Old school love for pepperoni pizza. I appreciate it when people have a good one.
Yeah.
But I'm a mushroom guy.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a mushroom guy. Broccoli on a white pizza.
Ooh.
A lot of garlic, a lot of broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But the beauty of New York is you don't have to choose.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, they probably have it already made
Yeah.
to throw in there. You could probably get it with a shoe on it, and nobody
There you go.
would bat an eye. That's New York, and
Yeah.
it would probably be good. I'm not going to do it, but I'm not going to put that to the test. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's really weird, and it doesn't seem much, but New York pizza that you could just get a slice, or a slice of mushroom, a slice of broccoli, and a plain slice. It feels like, and being able in New York to walk there, it it feels like freedom to me.
Mm.
It's really weird. It feels like freedom. It tastes like freedom. And yeah, they gave me an attitude
Mm-hmm.
at the counter, and and yeah, you got to know what you want when they ask you. Otherwise, get out of the line. Or a New York bagel, or
Mm.
just being able to walk there and do stuff. And there are a lot of places in LA that will afford that too. LA burrito is a magical thing.
Mm.
Um, and it's just, I don't know, it feels like freedom to me. It feels like I'm living my life, you know, being able to cook something,
Mm-hmm.
look at a recipe and say, I can make that and have it actually turn out that way or
Yeah.
close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really know because I'm just looking at a picture, but but turn out being something I'm happy with. Yeah, it feels like freedom to me. It feels like I've arrived, I've accomplished something. Um, so yeah, that's as far as toppings go. I don't know. I don't discriminate. I just see pizza.
All right, Andy, this is the second segment of the show. This is where we dive a little bit deeper into your mental health journey. I definitely believe the more we talk about these things, the more we realize we are not alone in these thoughts and these down times and these days that we have. So hearing other people that have gone through these things helps us all. So for you, how do you keep the darkness at bay?
Um, you know what? I don't.
Hmm.
We all. I talk when I'm talking about coaching actors and things like that. I talk about the is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as an actor, you have what you have. Your is your is. You can't. A lot of people get hung up because they're trying to make their reality feel like it's 18th century France, or it's not. It's going to feel like you're who you are in a place you wouldn't be for any other reason. Um, which is not always about you,
Yeah.
in front of equipment you wouldn't be in front of for any other reason, and people that have varying degrees of concern about how you feel, doing it for people that wouldn't be watching you do it or listening to you do it for any other reason. Um, and that's it's feeling, it's not your job to feel differently than you feel. It's your job to feel how you feel and do your job anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the paycheck gets big, doesn't get bigger if you enjoy it or don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I accept my darkness as part of my reality. I know how to be depressed and do my job.
Mm-hmm.
I know how. I don't like it as much. Nobody likes to be depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I know that it will pass,
Yeah.
And when do you mind if I tell this little story, or did you have other questions?
No, please go right ahead.
When I started in this business, Samuel French was a great experience, but it wasn't, other than meeting um, the people, Beth Wicki and Army Schultz, who helped me get the job at the agency,
Mm-hmm.
both amazing people who I love dearly. Um, well, I consider that when things really started for me,
Mm-hmm.
because that was the intense workspace. That was get it done fast, get it done right. Um, Not as much margin for error because people's careers hung on what you did,
Mm-hmm.
and people's relationships. And I didn't know anybody, and I stepped into it. And I was an assistant for a woman who was running the voiceover department, who became a really, really good friend and mentor to me over time. But for that first year, I was terrified. I stepped into a
Mm-hmm.
situation where I was replacing her assistant that she had had for a while. And, she expected it to be seamless. And I had very little training. And as an assistant, a lot of things get blamed on you. Part of your job is to take the blame.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to accept it of yourself, but you do have to know it's going to be blamed on you, and you do have to know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of things to heart. And
Mm-hmm.
for the first year, I was having severe anxiety attacks every day. I used to go to work an hour early because I thought if anybody else was in that office, I wasn't sure I was going to make it down the hallway to my desk.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to the bathroom because I was afraid. I was too terrified to get up and walk. I didn't think I'd be able to move. Um, and sometimes I was right. I mean, I was terrified.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this went on for like a year. I would leave an hour late. I would leave like when I couldn't see anybody. Um, and every day I went in there, I was like, today's the day. Today
Yeah.
is the day that I can't do it anymore. And I would even say something sometimes to the other assistant who sat next to me, who knew kind of what I was going through. And he'd be like, yeah, well, I've been waiting. But I never quit. And it's not a
Mm-hmm.
story of fighting it. It's not a story of I'm going to rally and I'm going to get it. It's a story of dealing with it. I wasn't even thinking second to second or minute to minute. I was
Yeah.
thinking now to now to now to now to now.
Wow.
I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm answering this phone call. Okay, I know how to write this down. I'm writing this letter and this letter and this letter and this letter, and it's not wrong. And I took the note. I passed the note off. I went back to my desk. It was a question of now to now to now to now to now. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Not feeling better, but existing in the anxiety and still doing my job. Because quitting, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I didn't not quit because I was strong and fighting it. I didn't quit because I was afraid. I didn't have the courage, because you get up there, first of all, you got to get up and go there. You got to make the decision, which
Mm-hmm.
is big. Then you got to go and talk to somebody about it. And then you got to deal with all of the repercussions,
Yeah.
because you don't just walk out at that moment. There's a process. Um, and then I got to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with my life after
Mm-hmm.
that. This is all I've been trained to do. I don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah.
And so I was like, if they fire me, at least that's easier,
Right. Right.
you know. But they never did. And every day I was there. There were a couple days I called out, but for the most part, every day I was there doing my job while having this crippling anxiety. I moved my computer to a place where I could kind of hide behind it.
Hmm.
I moved my phone to a place really close so I didn't have to reach far for it.
Hmm.
I made sure that we were still taking notes on pads and pencils. I made sure everything was right there so I didn't have to like reach out. And I suited my life to my anxiety existence.
Wow.
Um, and it worked, and I got stuff done, and I learned in the whole process. It didn't feel like I was learning,
Hmm.
but things just got easier and easier and easier because growth doesn't always feel like anything.
Yeah.
Um, and I existed with it. It was my is. And I learned, you know, your darkness is a part of you, and you have to accept that you can exist in it
Hmm.
and still be successful and still be functional. And eventually, after a year, I kind of, it hit this head, and I'd been there for a year, and I was just like, I don't care. And
Mm.
I got really upset, and I said, I'm going for a walk around the block. And I stormed out of the office, and I walked around, and I was ready to come back up and have somebody sitting at my desk waiting for me to clean it out.
Mm.
And I came back and I sat down, and nobody said anything.
Wow.
And the phone rang, and I picked it up, and I took a call. And at the end of the day, I went home, and I came back the next day and sat down and got to work. Um, and it kind of dissipated. It kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
reached its head. Um, and then I just, and still things were blamed on me. Some actually were my fault, and I accepted that. But a lot of them were not. And I'm like, okay, you can blame me, but everybody, including me, knows it's not my fault. And I can accept that. So as far as the darkness, and that acceptance of it
Yeah.
made it easier because I knew that doing something through the darkness was a success. There
Yeah.
was, you can notice the tunnel or you can notice the light. You're still in the tunnel,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, so that's it. I mean, and that's just me. I had to go to work every day. I
Yeah.
had to do it. I had to get out of bed. I had the luxury of having to be somewhere, not, but
Hmm.
but I had to accept it at a certain point, and I still do get depressed.
Yeah.
I still do worry. I'm just like every actor out there who's, you don't, you don't get a call for a little bit of time. It's like, is everybody working but me? I still have that,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know, um, but it's just a part of the existence. And I choose not to live a life where I'm going to pretend that it's not going to hit. I just know that I still can move forward, even when it feels like things are just insurmountable. They're not. I'm still here,
Yeah.
you know?
And I think that's important because, keeping the darkness at bay doesn't necessarily mean vanquishing it. Being,
Yeah.
like you said, being able to coexist beside
Mhm.
it, to
Mhm.
recognize it for what it is, but not be enveloped by it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was hanging on you tight that first year. It
Mhm.
hadn't covered you over completely, but it was hanging on tight. And then you
Yep.
finally were like, okay, all right, look, you stay on your side of the bed. I'm staying on my side of the bed, and we're
Mhm.
going to make this work,
Yep. Yep. I,
and
I had I had a troubled pit bull for many years.
oh, wow.
And I've had a lot. I love all dogs.
Hmm.
Most of my dogs have been pit bulls, but I don't discriminate. Uh, um, but he was troubled, and for the first year, I got bit a few times.
Hmm.
Um, and I had to go to the doctor, and I did not say I knew what dog did it, and I was
Hmm.
willing to, you know, to get the rabies shots if I needed to, because if you don't
Yeah.
say what dog did it, they make you do that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to make sure he doesn't have a bite on record because he's still my dog. And we cuddled at night, and, he would rest his head on my lap, and
Yeah.
he just didn't want me to leave. And eventually, after a year, actually a little more than that, we found a common ground. He knew I was coming back.
Yeah.
Um, and, yeah, it's kind of like that. You have to, and I've never said this in any other talk before. There were times when I called suicide hotline.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know how serious I was about thinking that.
Yeah.
I felt I needed help. I felt I needed somebody who at least said they cared.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, but I've accepted it's a part of me, and I get up and I do the job, and I'm like, I'm just going to find the corner pieces.
Yeah.
I'm going to find the corner pieces. They're easy to find, and I'm going to start there.
And then
Um,
just keep
yeah,
build that border, build from there,
yeah,
and keep looking for that next piece to fill in.
yeah, yeah. If you keep pushing the dog away, it's going to keep biting you.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's how I dealt with it. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not going to tell other people how to deal with it. I think everybody has to find their own journey.
For sure.
Um, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Out there, you deal with it, and you're not alone. Everybody, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody who hasn't wrestled a demon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I said, it's finding the way that works for
Mm-hmm.
you,
Yeah.
because everybody has a different way of dealing with stuff,
Yeah.
with everything,
Yeah.
I as much as you have a family and friends that love you and this, that, at the end of your days, at that final breath, it is always just you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and you have to be okay with, there are things that at that point you can't change, but that's it. You don't have any more time, and we don't know when that time's going to come. So it's like, okay, all right, I'm going to do the best I can
Mm-hmm.
to be the best person that I can be
Yeah.
with the tools that I have,
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially in a creative environment where you don't have like a set structure of I have to get in the car at this time and battle traffic here and go do, it creeps in, but gotta carry on. Gotta carry on.
Andy, this is the third segment of the show. It is time now for the Fast Five. The Fast Five. It's time now for the Fast Five. Fast Five. Sorry, I'm still working on a theme song there. I need to get
Good,
some instrumental tracks. It's got a good foundation, but it still needs some work.
You want me to beatbox or something?
That would be amazing if you could beatbox for It's time now for the Fast Five. The Fast Five. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's not real beatboxing, but it's the closest I can get.
That's right. It's a little unce. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's a little club, EMD, EDM, a little club music, a little house. There's nothing wrong with that. Fast Five is powered by Poddex. It's an app created by my friend Travis Brown. If you go to chewingthefatbr.com/Poddex, it will take you to your app store where you can download the app. It's great for podcasters, but there are great icebreakers as well. No wrong answers on this. Just kind of the first thing comes to the top of your mind. You ready, Andy?
I don't know. Let's find out.
We're going to start anyway. Here we go. Question number 1. If someone left you a cottage somewhere in the countryside in their will, where would you want the cottage to be located?
The woods of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good memories from that area.
Love the woods of New Jersey. Love it.
When you think of that, what's one of those first memories that come to mind when you think about the woods of New Jersey and spending time there?
Winter, no leaves on the trees. The full moon was lighting up the snow so much. It almost looked like day. Wow. I'm not big on walking out into the woods at night, but I had to do it. I was like, the snow was pristine, and it was just amazing. And I was like, I don't know what you call it, but there's something bigger than us.
Yeah.
The fact that it created this and the fact that we have the wherewithal to appreciate it was like, we're all part of a big soup.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
I love it. Question number 2. What was the last book you read?
Ah, um, okay. Still sort of reading it.
Okay.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh,
The last one that I finished was book 3, and I'm in book 4 now.
okay. That's great.
And that was the last book I read.
I love it. I love it. And question number 3.
Okay.
Where do you go when you need to blow off some steam?
Depends on what coast I'm on. Again,
Okay.
a good slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Um, I I will say this, but I will qualify it. Um, Probably a whiskey bar. I don't drink that much, um, but when I am such a huge fan of the art behind creating whiskey, everything that goes in it, the regions. I'm a big fan of world whiskeys. I collect them. I don't, like I said, I don't drink that much, but I like getting caught in the artistry of it.
Yeah.
More than the buzz. But yeah, that's to blow off steam. I'll get some whiskey friends. I actually helped form a whiskey club. We'll do that. Yeah, and we'll get together and we'll taste a few different things and just appreciate somebody else's artistry for a bit. Yeah. That's where I go.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Question number 4. Do you like movie musicals?
Oh, that's a gem. That's yeah. All right. Sweeping generalization. No.
Okay.
No, I don't hate them. And there's some that I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool, but no, in general, no.
In general, just not a musical type person.
Yeah. I'm not a musicals person. I like them a little more on stage than on film.
Okay.
But even so, it's not my thing. I appreciate it, and there's an incredible brilliance behind it. But I have friends that are like, "Oh, this is an amazing musical. Yeah, I can see it."
It just doesn't.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Although, I mean, you're a very musical person yourself because you killed some karaoke at VO Atlanta. I mean,
thank you.
I mean,
thank you. Yeah, I do like me a little AC/DC and Guns N' Roses, but karaoke I like.
Yeah, but that's not a musical.
And I would see a movie about karaoke. That's a different thing. This is a sort of an overarching answer to what could be a specific question. So
right.
Yeah, so I'll put the qualifier in it.
I love that. Yeah. All right. Question number 5. Why is it important to have the right people on your team and in your circle to accomplish your dreams?
Define team.
Your circle of influence. Your if you've got those close knit, those confidants, those people that you can call on for anything type thing.
Okay, if team is community. Why is it important? Well, I mean, you gotta be able to do stupid stuff with people. You got to be able to make bad decisions that are bad decisions. Should I really spend this next 2.5 hours going to see a movie I know I'm probably not going to like? Yeah. Do I need to go and eat this food even though maybe it's not the healthiest thing for me? I think it's important. I think it's important to share stupid stuff with people. I love that. People that you can make a joke and somebody will laugh. People that will be honest with you.
Yeah.
When it's appropriate, and people that will lie to you when you need to be lied to.
Yeah.
Is that this expensive shirt? Does that look good on me? Yes. I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't wear it everywhere, but
certain occasions. Does it make you happy? Put wearing it. Okay, that may be more important than how you look.
Because otherwise your imagination just runs rampant, and your imagination is not always your friend.
Yeah.
And your imagination is never reality.
Yeah.
It's imagination. It's the textbook definition of the opposite of reality. I think that's really important. So when you say team, if you mean community, then I think that's why it's important. People that know you, people that you can run things by. It's that's I think that's at least for me.
Yeah.
That's what community means.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Well, that is our Fast Five, and that's the show, Andy. Thank you so much for being here, man.
This was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
This was kind of cathartic, actually.
Well, good. I'm glad you agreed to be here. If folks want to keep up with you and what you've got going on, is there a way that folks could stay in touch?
I'm on Insta.
Okay.
I can. Do I have access to a chat? I can maybe put it in a chat. You can.
I can put it in the show notes. So there, it's at Shiny Noggin, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That is at Shiny Noggin, but Shiny has an E.
Yes.
SHINEY. And the picture is me and one of my dogs.
Which dog was it?
This was Taco.
Taco.
I had Taco and tequila.
Oh.
Right now I have Zeus and Apollo.
Nice.
And every dog has been in my heart. I saw somebody, it was a place, they had shirts with little dogs on them, and there was a sign that says, every dog that has left me has taken a piece of my heart, and every dog that has come in has put a piece of theirs back. And hopefully one day my heart will be all dog and I will be perfect.
That's awesome. I love it so much.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I will make sure to put that in the show notes. Andy, thank you again for being here, buddy. I love you. I love everything that you're doing, and it's an honor to be connected with you, my friend.
Love you too, brother. This is really great. This is really great, and this was a lot of fun. So much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you would like to support this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you bought me a coffee at chewingthefatbr.com. But until next time, I look forward to the chance we have to sit a spell and chew the fat.